Hello, here from Body Seat. Today we are bringing to you a yin class, and a yin class is one of the classes that we have here available at Body Seat, and we trust that will be very soon. I do not know what very soon may mean, but we would be soon here in the studio again with our classes. Today we're going to begin a yin class, and we're going to be working basically with the lower body. For that in the classes, we use a bolster or a block or a blanket. And if you're at home and you do not have any of these props, you can use books, you can use cushions, you can use a blanket, and just be resourceful at home if that it is necessary. The most important thing is that in yin, we don't go to 100% of whatever the pose would be, because we would be holding the poses at least 3 to 4 minutes. In a regular class, we may hold the poses a little bit longer, and we leave that to your discretion. However, for today, we begin with a centering breath. And here, Daniel, I will be coming off the camera for a little bit while Daniel will show us and demonstrate the poses. So welcome again. And let's begin with settling in. No changes to the breath. Just having the sense of grounding, feeling your sit bones, maybe closing your eyes if that feels right, relaxing your forehead and your shoulders, maybe bringing the corners of your mouth up a tiny bit. But more than anything, just having a sense that there is nowhere to go, nothing to do. Just grounding yourself. Almost like your spine can go through the earth. Go down even further. Trusting and releasing. Noticing your breath. So in a yin class, we don't give many instructions to the breath. It's not that fiery breath that we have in the other classes. But see if your exhalation can be a little longer than the inhalation. And that will help the nervous system calming down and letting go. If in your practice you like to set an intention, I invite you to do that now. And for the first pose, we're going to be going into a child's pose. So in your child's pose, your hands can be extended, but allow them to be lazy and have weight. Your hips are going towards your heels. Your body is becoming heavy. If your knees are not healthy, please bring like a blanket under your knees. And you can even put a bolster between your seat and your legs if you are not comfortable. So for yin classes, just remember that we're not working directly with the muscles or the tendons. You're not forcing yourself. It's almost like you're surrendering towards the earth, allowing the body to reset on its own. And maybe notice the area between your shoulder blades. Are you still holding up? Can you let that go? What about your jaw? Can you bring a little space and maybe open your mouth a tiny bit? And if now you're getting maybe a little bit impatient and you would like to know what is the next pose, that means that you're doing the practice because you are noticing. So coming back just to your child's pose. So we're halfway through this pose here. If you like a little change, maybe your arms can come towards the back and your knees come together. Noticing how that changes the curvature of your back. Maybe a little bit more pressure in your forehead, or maybe you have a blanket under your forehead to be more at ease. Noticing your back. I'll now notice the area around your sacrum to the left and to the right. Can you release right there? Just pure weight. Just noticing your breath as it comes in and it goes out, although you are not making any changes. No need to force, to reach, to push. Just surrendering. Now, so very slowly, begin to place your hands to the sides of your knees, coming out of your pose, very, very slow. And maybe just incur into any movement that feels right. Maybe you go around with your neck, maybe one shoulder and then the other. And usually what I say is that when you stop feeling the pose, you have a little bit of reset on your body. Maybe you can come to your hands to a table pose and have a couple of cat-cows. You can do it with hands under your shoulders or even from that sitting pose. Your breath is at ease. You're not concentrated in your breath, but there is a sense of fullness. And now slowly curl your toes. Bring your seat towards your heels. And then sit back into your heels to begin working with your feet. And this pose is a fiery pose. So usually notice whether the temperature of your body changes. Whether you begin to wonder why you're doing this. Notice the tissues in the bottom of your feet and how they go towards the front of the ankle and maybe the lower leg. You always have the option to come out of the pose and back into the pose, so do not suffer pain. Maybe you just find a way to release. But try to be that sense of weight. We're still trying to go towards the earth. So forget about all those instructions of your back being a certain way, of your back being straight. We're concentrated and grounding. For some people that this pose doesn't mean much, maybe you can expand your toes and come a little bigger in your pose. Notice whether your breath has changed. So this pose I usually do not hold that long. Maybe because I find it too painful for myself once in a while, but just let yourself know what is good for you. And then come out to your table pose again and release. Maybe tap the top of your feet against the mat. Take a couple more of cat-cows, or maybe go from side to side and free your lower body. And then when you get ready, come back to your heels. Sit back, extend the left leg towards the front. The right foot goes behind, and there's different options. Some of us cannot have this pose, so maybe we bring a blanket under the right knee. Maybe if this is not good, we bring the right foot to the inside of that left leg. So listen to your body. How does it feel better? So the toes of that left foot, just have them lazy. They don't have to look at you. Just relax. So after you find your pose here, there's more options. You can come back and lean back. You can place a bolster behind your spine as you go back to recline. Or some of you may have the complete freedom of the body to come all the way down. We're going to be here about almost 4 minutes. So you can completely lay back. You can put your elbows. Where can you surrender? Notice the temptation of having the fingers reaching or touching. So use this time now to scan the body. Where do you feel tightness in that leg? Can you let go of the glute in that right leg? How does the front of the right ankle feel? Am I still waiting for the next instruction? So you've been here like halfway through the pose already. Again, notice your habits. Notice where you're holding your body. Even check the palms of their hands, even if they're flat against the floor. Is there anything else that you can surrender right here from the elbow down? Making sure that there is no sensation of numbness or tingling sensations. Maybe that would mean that you went too far in your pose. But finding the stillness. It is in that stillness where you reset, recharge, and heal. Maybe take an inhale through your nose and let it go. And lean towards the extended leg. Slowly, careful coming out of your bolster as you allow that right leg coming towards the front, slowly coming to the front, planting both feet in the mat, maybe wider than the mat. And then going much slower than you want, trying to allow that right knee to go towards the arch of the left foot and the left knee towards the arch of the right foot. So actually, yin classes can be tougher in a way than other classes because we want to move forward. We always are trying to anticipate what's coming next. When you feel like you have reset and you're getting bored with this, that means that it's time for the next one, next leg. So this time, the right leg extend, relax the toes, and find what version of the pose is good. Protecting your knee, staying all the way up, coming to your elbows or coming down to a bolster. So when we do the second side, usually there's a little bit of faster movement towards the pose if you liked what you were doing. Because you heard the instruction and there is the expectation. So the trick now is to take advantage of that and just let go. Relaxing the fingers of your hands. Your shoulders back. Noticing whether there is an urge to move and stay. Completely letting go. With each breath and each moment of presence, your mind and your body are creating traits of calmness and ease. And now slowly take an inhale again and surrender. This time leaning towards the right leg, slowly coming out of the pose with kindness, straightening that left leg, bringing the left leg towards the front. And this time doing again. Maybe the feet are wider than the mat. And see how slow can you go. So now slowly come to your seat and allow the legs to be as wide as they can. The toes are lazy. The back can be relaxed. You can bring your bolster, a blanket, a block in front of you. And we're just coming forward. The neck can let go. The back can be curved. Try not hyperextension of your knees. So they may be a little bit of a bend. And again, noticing the need of the body to do something. Slowly you may come in levels of forward fold We're going to be holding the pose for about 3 minutes. If you feel anything in your lower back and this is not good for your lower back, then you went forward too much. Maybe use a little bit more of height at the beginning. Bring the floor towards you. A little bit of introspection. Maybe remembering your intention. Can we really trust? Can we let go? How does your mind feel when there is no instruction? Do you feel relaxed and you're grateful? Or are you expecting something else? At this point, notice whether you have created a little space in your body and maybe there is space to come a little lower or to remove some of the layers of the forward fold. Just notice the wisdom of your body and see what is that you need. Using your hands, planting your hands to the side of the bolster or to the floor, allowing the body to come up. And here, do any movement that feels right. Maybe your shoulders come up and down. Maybe you do sitting cat-cows with your legs bent or not. Notice whether you have tightness and where it is. Take an inhale through the nose and let it go. And now slowly, just for a very short period of time, come to your back completely. Bring your knees to your chest. Squeeze your knees. And then allow them to float up. Lazy legs up, the knees are bent straight up towards the skies. Maybe roll your ankles. Resist the temptation of looking perfect. Just helping the gravity, bringing back the energy and the blood from your toes towards your heart. And slowly come back to a sitting pose, just to reset. So this time we're going to do Pigeon. There's different versions of Pigeon and everybody has one. So if you want to be in your back and bring the right ankle over the left, and you will thread the needle that way. Otherwise, you can be sitting completely in your right hip and the left leg goes to the back. If you have a complete full practice of Pigeon, what I would like for you to do this one is not to have the perfect looking magazine Pigeon. This is a surrendering pose. So feel the energy from the toes, from the top of that foot that is laying back. Noticing how the foot gets heavier, the right foot gets heavier. And I invite you to even use a blanket and a bolster here too, just to surrender your upper body completely. Notice the energy in your lower back and see if you can trace from left to right. Another exercise that I like sometimes to do with this pose is that I like to see how maybe my soft breath traces my spine from the back of the neck all the way down to the bottom of my spine, and from the bottom of my spine all the way up to my head. Like a soft, gentle river. Notice the area in front of that left thigh. See if you're somehow still holding it up. Can your shoulders wrap around a little bit more? Do you notice? Do you notice your thoughts? Before we move out of the pose, just check in. How does it feel in this side? Notice the areas that are a little bit more open. And slowly plant your hands and help your body to come out of the pose. Here, use your discretion. Maybe you do a table pose. Maybe you do a lazy downward facing dog, extending that right leg towards the back. Stepping, moving, allowing your body to really release. And when you feel like you are not feeling the pose much anymore, then you're ready to come to the other side. So you take a few more seconds. Sitting into left leg completely, or maybe coming to your full expression. of the pose. And again, noticing the change in attention from one side to the other. And hopefully noticing the attention when we change one pose to the other, bring us the discipline or the habits to notice those same spaces when we are going about life. And that's the whole purpose. Because if we notice now the tissues of the body when they are relaxed and when they are contracted, hopefully when we are out of here and we're going to about to get upset or we're relaxed, we also notice and know how to go back into our body, to stop, to feel the pose, and then to find the stillness within the pose. This is a meditation because you can't keep coming back. But if you need something else, maybe just notice without changing your breath. When your breath comes in, just in and out. In and out. I give you many options during the class. Maybe the visualization of the spine, maybe noticing the contractions and the expansions in the body, or noticing the breath. So you choose what is good for you, what feels right in your body. Those are just tools. None of them completely indispensable. So we're in the stretch here. And before you move completely out of the pose, just notice your body as it sits right here. Is there anything else you would like to release and let go? Now again, begin to slowly have the intention of moving. Before you even begin to move, plant your hands. Bring the body. Choose the pose that resets your body. And then coming back to your seat. We're going to do a supported bridge. So if You have a block, you can have a block. If you have a pillow or a bolster, you have that. We're going to put it under our seat. Push the feet towards the mat. Put the bolster under you. And even if you like to go to the full expression, let's demonstrate first how to do it. Completely supported. Your hands can come to the side, palms up. You can also bring cactus arms to open your shoulders a little bit more. And if you have the range of motion, you can always opt also to form like a little diamond around your head. Your hands come together, your shoulders are completely relaxed, opening your heart, the area between your chest and your shoulders. So you decide. And just begin the process of surrendering. Some of the students love this pose. You can also use it with a block, and they immediately would like to extend the legs out because they know their bodies and they know that that is the expression that feels right. If that is the case, you are more than welcome to. You can leave it in this way, or you can extend your legs when your body feels like it's right. But only if you feel completely at ease in your back. And in this pose, we're working with the front body and the back body in different ways. The back has a little bit of a back bend. The front and the back legs are extended. Your chest is open towards your skies. Your fingers are completely relaxed, and feel the weight of your hands in the back of the hands against the mat. So when I mention those things in a class, the main purpose is really to bring you back to a point and getting out of the habitual patterns. So if you don't feel it or see it the way that I am describing it, it's okay. Choose your way to feel the pose. This is your practice. Hopefully by now your breath is a lot calmer. But it's nourishing. It's spacious. It's light and full at the same time. No worries about what's coming next. Although you've been in this pose here for a little bit now, can you release your glutes to the sides a little bit more? Opening the front of the thigh. Maybe your shoulders get heavier towards the mat. You feel the back of the head. And you trust. Take an inhale to your nose slowly. And let it go just like a spray of perfume. And slowly begin to bend your knees if your legs were extended. Lift your bottom a little bit. Remove the bolster. And I invite you here, if you like, to go up into a regular bridge pose and come down very lazily and slowly. If this is not good, do windshield wipers. What does it feel like? And now come all the way to your right side. We're going to finish these poses with a very gentle spinal twist. Not just lay it on your right completely. Bring the knees as high as you can. Extend your arms. The right arm would be extended and the left hand would be touching the right arm like prayer hands. Release your shoulder and your head. And then slowly open the left arm to the side, coming all the way to the left. If your body allows you, you're going to look towards your left hand with your head. Some of us cannot come all the way flat. If that would be the case, you can bring a bolster under that left arm to the side. Because we're going to be holding the pose here for a little bit. And the purpose is just to surrender, to take advantage of how this practice sneaks out on you and just really unravels your body. That's the way that I like to see it. And in yin classes, it's a little bit at a time. I often use the analogy of seasoning. You season your food a little bit at a time to bring depth and complexity and the diversity that is our lives. Because I told you this is our last pose. How does it feel? Do you remember your intention at the beginning if you set one? Before you move out of the pose, notice the sensations in that right side of the body, your right hip, right thigh, right leg. Notice your breath. And slowly, even try with your eyes closed if you can. Just remove the bolster if you have one. Coming out of the pose, coming all completely to your right side for a second or two. And then rolling completely to the opposite side. And let's do that again. So palms of the hands are together in prayer hands, and you slowly, without moving your lower body, open the arm to the other side. Maybe your head would follow. Feeling the weight of your body now on the left. Finding the energy at the bottom of your spine and let go. Is the back of the head coming heavier? Can you trust the mystery of your body and let go? Are your fingers still trying to grasp? Can you relax? Can you allow your tongue to float? Can you feel your heart from the front all the way to the back between your shoulder blades? Coming all the way to your left side very slowly. Engaging your breath a tiny bit. We come to the last pose. So if you like a bolster on your knees, under your knees, some of us like to cover our body. I personally like to put the blanket on my tummy, since we're talking about grounding today, because I like to have a little weight there sometimes. Because nowadays we're all in our heads. Our minds are going and going and going and trying to figure it out. And this practice has been a grounding practice. So we end, like many of the classes here, with a prolonged relaxation. And we're going to begin from the crown of the head. Imagine that soft spot that we had as children, babies. And maybe pretend or imagine that you have a little sensation in that area. Like maybe tingling sensations, maybe warmth. But it's soothing, calming, pure energy. And this soothing sensation comes down your head, going to the back of the head and to the front and your face at the same time. Almost when you spread soft honey in a glass, coming down, relaxing your forehead to the sides, the corners of your eyes, the corners of your mouth, the muscles of your face. The back of the head becomes heavy. And you notice the space between your left ear and your right ear, and you relax. And this soothing sensation comes to the front of the neck and to the back of the neck. And there's nothing that you have to do or to force or to make happen. It's just the energy of your body coming down. Trusting, grounding, relaxing. Come into your collarbones and they open up, releasing your shoulder blades in the back too. Opening your shoulders to the side. So shoulders, elbows, wrists, and fingers flowing with this soothing sensation. Notice the palms of the hands and relax. The front of your body all the way to your belly button. Bathing in this honey-like sensation of soothing sensation of pure relaxation. From the back of the neck all the way to the bottom of your spine, your whole back. Left and right, relax. Allow your thighs to roll towards the outside a tiny bit, releasing your lower back and your stomach. Your knees feel open. Your lower legs. Your ankles and your feet. From the top of the head to the bottom of your feet. From the bottom of your feet to the top of your head. Your body is fluid. Your body is relaxed. with a sense of ease. Relax and let it go. Slowly begin to bring your body some energy. Maybe with your breath begins to get a little fuller. Maybe you bring movement to your wrist and your ankles. If you would like to have a two-way stretch, removing your bolster if you have one or not, your arms can come overhead. Take an inhale through the nose and let it go. If you'd like to come to the right side before we come to a sitting pose or to your favorite side, and then come to a sitting position in front of the mat, and we take one last breath. As we inhale, our arms up. Interlace the fingers, flip your hands and stretch. Put your hands, if that is within your practice, in front of your chest. Like always, may your awakened hearts grow and flourish ever more and more. Namaste. Thank you. We see you soon.